Now listen, for those that do not know this man, this is Napa Fitness. He is Chris Eubank Jr.'s part of Chris Eubank Jr.'s management team from Nova Sport. He has got an absolute stable of serial killers. He is a man mountain, a powerhouse in the fight game, as well as a powerhouse of a human being. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the Insta Live. So listen, you're looking good as always. I love the Caribbean background. I love that. We haven't got... There we go. Your sound's gone. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. I was just saying, I absolutely love the Caribbean background. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I thought I'd get some art in the apartment, you know.
It looks absolutely class. Listen, let's get straight in because I know a lot of the guys have got excited to hear about the biggest grudge match of the modern era that is going down on the 26th of April at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. It's a really exciting fight. It is steeped in tradition because of the father's fights in the 90s, and everyone is excited about it. How excited is the team and Chris for this fight?
Say that again, sorry. Someone keeps ringing me.
No worries. How excited is Chris for this fight?
Oh, man, he's happy he's got this over the line, and he's just ready to put on a show for everyone, man. In April, it's going to be sick. It's going to be sick.
Is there a lot of emotion in the fight for him, or is he actually like cool, calm, and calculated about it?
He's always cool, calm, and calculated. You've never seen him swear or kick off before, have you?
No.
Yeah, he's cool, calm, calculated. This is the fight he wanted more than any other right now. He's just happy he's got it over the line, and he's ready to put on a show that everyone's not going to forget.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, for those that don't know, unless you've been hiding in a cave, the first fight was due in October the 8th. It was postponed a few days before, on the 5th of October, as Ben tested positive for clomiphene, I believe. Yeah. And that's a female fertility drug treated for women, but it's found to have powerful ability to boost testosterone or restore testosterone in men. And it is actually banned by the World Doping Agency. How was the whole experience for you guys? You've obviously done a massive camp. You were building up for this massive fight, and 3 days before the fight, it's off. Can you just talk to us as much as you can about the whole experience and the feelings around it all?
Yeah, man, it was just shitty for everyone, you know. Even like myself, I flew over from Dubai and I landed and I got told no fight, you know. And I cancelled so much shit over here. But you just got to think, obviously, not just Chris, everyone on the card as well, you know. Like, you got a whole load of fighters that done a whole camp. Near the end of the year, they sacrificed a lot, you know. It's like, the camps are not hard for these boxers, you know. Most boxers will tell you that camp's harder than the actual fight. So when that happened, yeah, it was shitty for Chris, but I also felt sorry for everyone else on the cards because obviously, you know, some people, they're getting by fight financially. So it was, yeah, felt sad for most of them on the card.
So Chris was vexed. That's fair to say he was vexed, you know. But he still wanted to go ahead with the fight. Is that, you know, that's the reports that we've got that
he's a fighter. He's not going to say no. He's a fighter. You know, he should be concerned if he didn't want it. Chris is one of a kind. He was geared up for that fight anyway. He did a hard camp, so he's, you know, of course he's going to say fuck it. I'll still fight. He was saying he was going to win, being on 60%. So why would he not fight?
Yeah, that was absolutely class. The build up was absolutely class. Yeah. The whole 60% thing was wonderful, and the build up was class. And for the fans, it was disappointing that it didn't happen. Is he looking to really punish him now for payback for the you know, putting himself in that position?
You're going to see a knockout. a savage knockout.
Mm.
This is going to be devastating.
The size going to be too much?
Say that again, sorry.
Will size matter?
Even if Conor was the same size, Chris is so locked in for this, it's not really going to matter.
Listen, I'm a huge fan of Chris Eubank Jr. I've been a big fan of his for a long time. And under the Roy Jones Jr. era, I was disappointed with the way he started fighting. A lot of shaking and baking. His punch output sort of dipped. I used to love how he fought in the Super Six. When he dismantled Yildirim. That's one of my favourite fights of his. And under the Roy Jones era, his punch put went down, upper went down. He was shaking and baking, hands low, not in great positions, and he letting fighters off the hook a little bit. The Liam Williams fight, I'd say, where he knocked him down sort of 4 times. Normally the old Chris would go in for the kill. Are we going to see the old Chris for this fight, which is the fast, peppering combinations, peppering you like a sirloin steak, the relentless gas tank, you know what I mean? They don't need to call a plumber when he's around. He never runs out of gas. And the seek and destroy mentality, that's what we love him for as the fans, He normally hunts you down, chases you down like Tom and Jerry. Tom chases Jerry, like he's all over you. Do you think he's going to go back to that style?
More or less. The Liam Smith fight, he hurt his hand, so we couldn't really use his right hand. That's why he fought like that in that fight. Otherwise, he would have got Liam out of there. Not Liam Smith, sorry, Liam Williams, sorry. He hurt his hand in that fight after the 3rd or 4th round. So that's why, it looked the way it did. He's still got the W, but come fight night April 26th, you're going to see savage Chris.
Yes, that's what we like to see. Ben Shalom, I interviewed Ben, and Ben said he's going to annihilate him. He's too good. He's just a much better boxer than him. He expects to see him done in 3 rounds, he said. He said Conor Benn hasn't boxed at British level, and Chris has been at world level. Are you seeing it the same way, that there's a big gulf, and maybe that we're all a little bit... maybe we're all a bit taken in by the past and not looking at the present, that actually Chris is on a different level?
Conor's unproven. He hasn't fought anyone at 154, 160 on the same level as Chris. And who was his best win? Maybe Algeri or what's his name? Van der Veerden?
Yeah, I mean, Algeri is 40.
Yeah. But look, he talks a good game. He says he's going to do this and that. He's full of energy, full of rage. He's going to come in throwing bombs. Let's see. You can live with Chris with that energy.
Listen, I saw you interview recently, and you made a really good point, and something that a lot of people aren't thinking about. We all see Conor Benn as a 147 fighter, and you made a point recently that he hasn't been 147 for 3 years. His last couple of fights were at 154. And he's only actually really coming up one weight class. So with that said, why has the team agreed to have a rehydration clause in this contract to keep Chris's weight modified?
I'm not Team Ben. This is what you got to ask him and his team when you see them. Obviously, Eddie Hearn's job is to get the best deal as possible for his fighters, so he negotiated a rehydration clause, etc. And look, if that's what it takes to make the fight happen, Chris said, "Let's go." He still sees himself getting the W, and so do I. But obviously, they put it in there because it's a way of them to try and get a little bit of an advantage come fight night. But for me, the way he was calling for the fight, you would think that he's ready to fight Chris right now in the street. but it is what it is.
How did Chris look considerably vexed when Conor rolls up to him when he was weight cutting before his last fight, and got in his grill. Do you know what I mean? And it's probably not the time to do it. What was your thoughts on that?
Say that again, sorry.
What was your thoughts on the fact that Conor Benn rolled up to Eubank Jr. when he was weight cutting in a lobby and was in his face, was it just highly disrespectful or just a bit of showmanship to build the fight?
It's disrespectful, but he was just trying to make a fight happen. I understand it. Little Mr. T tactics. He's just trying to make a fight happen. Is it the correct right way to do it? Probably not. But he's got what he asked for. And April 26th, he's going to regret it.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely brilliant fight. And we're all absolutely buzzing for it. Give us a prediction. So Ben Shalom says within 3 rounds, he's just a better boxer. He annihilates him. What's your prediction? Give us a round and a method, Mr. Napper.
I think mid-round stoppage. Listen, I don't think Conor Benn is rubbish, but I just don't think he's going to win this fight. He's going to come out full of energy, throwing haymakers and the rest of it, and it's going to be fun while it lasts.
Yeah.
But he ain't going to get the W.
Yeah. Well, I think Chris will be favourite with the bookies. I think that'd be fair to say. I haven't looked at the odds. I like a little flutter, but I haven't looked yet. But I'd imagine Chris will be favourite due to the size and experience. But yeah, I think it's going to be an epic build-up. We've got some fans saying, just reading in, we've got some fans saying Eubank wins in 8. That's TH. And we've got 13th and final round. The build-up will be good. So the fans are, they're all absolutely buzzing for this fight. But listen, I really want to talk to you about your stable, and I want to talk to you about Nova Sport. So Nova Sport's the management company that you work for with your partners, and you manage an unbelievable stable of like really good, promising fighters as well as exceptional fighters. Can you just tell us how that began? It's only been alive a few years, right?
Yeah. So Nova Sport managed Chris, and the partners in the company reached out to me to said, obviously they know that I've been around Chris for like 12 years, and I've got good knowledge of boxing, so they asked me to be part of it and sign some other fighters. So I was like, yeah, hell yeah.
Really?
Why not?
Yeah. Living the dream?
Yeah. I get to travel a lot.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds great. So what do you look for? What do you look for in the fighters that you sign?
I don't look for any particular thing. I just look for one. Well, obviously, look, I've realised when you talk to promoters, they want fighters that are a bit entertaining. So it's a bit of a mixture. I've got fighters that are near their, like, in their late 20s, early 30s, close to the top 15 world rankings. I've got young fighters. I wouldn't say I look for any particular thing. I just know what I like when I see it, and when I'll reach out and try to sign the fight up. But no, it's not like I look for someone that's got a good jab, or I look for knockout artists, or we've got people like Brandon Glanton and Rene Duron that sit in the pocket and slug and put loads of pressure. And then we've had fighters like Tevin Farmer that are super slick and stylish. So, I can't say there's like one particular thing that we look for.
Yeah. Eddie Hearn, I think it was, came out recently and said, listen, you can't get on Matchroom. If you can't win at I think he said at English level, I think he said, then you can't get on Matchroom. I don't know. It was just straight up. If you can't get to that level, then we don't consider you. We don't think you can get to that level. Do you kind of have that in the back of your head, like, I only want stars, and
It's hard. It's hard to tell, because I've seen some really, really amazing, excellent fighters in the gym, and then come fight night, they don't fight as good as they are in the gym, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to tell. The only way you're going to tell is when they get under the lights. All you can do is see the potential in someone, give them the opportunity. They roll the dice and hope they make it happen. It's difficult, even though Eddie went and faced Queensbury and lost 5-0. So it's very hard to tell, oh yeah, this person's definitely going to go, this person's definitely, like, you don't know. I didn't think Chris Billam Smith would beat Riakpo and Coyle.
No, nor did I.
Yeah, exactly. So
Nor did I. Nor did I.
after Joe Joyce beat Daniel Dubois, you wouldn't think a couple of years later he's going to beat AJ. So you really don't know. That's what makes boxing exciting.
Yeah, spot on, spot on. Any fan questions? Fire them in, and I'll ask them. And we're going to just quickly go through that stable. We've got one question. M Vinola, what a matchroom like to work with?
They're cool. to be honest with you, I've known Eddie Hearn and Frank Smith for over 10 years, both of them. So I had a relationship with them way before.
How did you meet Chris Eubank Jr. from before Nova Sport? How did you guys become acquainted?
So I was this like 13 years ago. I was doing club promotion, and a mutual friend put me in touch saying, "Oh, he wants to come out in London." And he came to one of my events, and we just got on. He didn't drink, I don't drink. Into the same music. Obviously, he worked in boxing. I didn't know Eubank Senior had a son that was fighting. And then we was just rolling with each other ever since. It's like 2012.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Would you say that you're more mates than business associates?
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. That's fantastic that you can work together as well. So let's go through your stable. I mean, so Derek Osas, I'm going to start with him.
Mm-hmm.
Brave effort last Friday against George Liddard. You and I spoke on this after, but I think we both had the same view that the rounds were tight, but maybe Liddard was just perhaps nicking them. But your man came out smelling of roses because he really did go to war and put in a big effort. How do you feel about that fight, and how's the fighter feeling?
Obviously, Derek is upset he didn't get the win, but he went in there, I think, looking for the stoppage. Obviously, the fight before against Denzel Bentley didn't go according to plan at all. So you can see his energy he wants to make a statement here. But that's what made it be such a exciting spectacle. He was super fit, man. I wish it was a 12-round fight. He might have nicked it. But it looked like he was more going for the KO, where Liddard was just like picking like a little bit more of the busy fighter. But
who would you like
wouldn't
to
mind
see
doing it again?
Who would you like to see him in with next? Would you like to see it a rematch?
Rematch would be cool, or I'm not sure. Frank and Eddie liked him, so I'll speak with them in the next coming weeks about any other opportunities going forward. But Tyler Denny fight would be good. But
that'd be good. Yeah. Tyler Denny fight would be good. Let's go on to Rene Giron. Rene Tellez Giron. 20 wins, 13 KOs. Building nicely, but obviously just coming off a unanimous loss to Floyd Schofield, who's no mug himself. How long have you been working with him, and what's the plans with him?
For over 2 years. Rene's going to be fighting Rocky Hernandez on a matchroom card at the end of this month.
Mexico, isn't it?
Yes, it's penciled in for Mexico at the moment. And we're looking to get the win over Rocky Hernandez. That will make him be in the top 3 in the WBC rankings. Then after that, obviously, Shaki Foster's got the title. So after that, all eyes on him.
Quality.
I think Rene will stop Rocky Hernandez, in my opinion. Like Floyd Schofield is not a mug.
No,
and
he's no mug.
He's got the fight now with
Shakur,
and you're going to see Rene dropped Schofield as well in the 11th round and hurt him bad in the 3rd round.
Yeah, he dropped him in 11. And the thing is, Schofield's one of the only people that's calling Shakur. He's really on him. So that brother. He's a good fighter, and I don't think it's anything bad to lose to him. No. Should we get in one of your boys? It'd be good to chat to a couple of your fighters. We'll introduce a few of them in, and we'll still talk about some of the other guys. But I think Troy Williamson's in here, and should we get Troy in?
Yeah, get Troy in.
Troy, do you want to? Let me see if I can add him in, or if you can request to join Troy. And then I'd love to speak with Mario Silva as well, because I was at his last fight. And he fought against a guy that I sponsor, funny enough.
Do you?
Yeah. I sponsor 16 fighters I sponsor.
Okay.
I use the revenue from my channel to help and support fighters. And Emmanuel Zion is one I sponsor. He used to train with Xavier Miller for that fight. He was with.
Yeah.
Oh no, he wasn't with Xavier for that fight. Sorry, he was with Xavier this fight before. But yeah, it was a good fight. They've done some serious views on online that fight.
Close to 1 million, I think.
Yeah, serious views. Let me get Troy in now. Let me just add him in. So we've got a question for you. Hey, Mr. Williamson.
Good,
How are you, my brother?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, mate. Pleasure to have you on. You look super chilled.
It's early night.
Yeah, that's what you have to say that the manager's on.
Early morning, going for a run, so I'm in bed chilling.
Yeah, brilliant. You have to say that the manager's on.
That's what
That's
what I
fantastic.
do. I'm in bed every night by about 8:30, 8:45 every night.
Yeah, listen, I really enjoy watching you box, and I interviewed you at the boxer show in Sheffield. Good fun that was, by the way, really good fun, and it was really a pleasure to spend some time with you. We did talk about this before, but I just want to know now, because we talked about who you were going to fight next. You've had 3 losses in your last 4 bouts, and we talked about who you were going to fight next. And if I remember right, you called out Aaron's. Is it Aaron? Who did you call
McKenna.
Pardon?
McKenna.
That's it, Aaron McKenna. Thank you. And I don't think that fight's materialising. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, he's fighting Liam Smith. Don't blame him. He's probably getting paid a lot of money for that. Obviously, he's in a win-win. If he loses, a lot of people probably expect him to lose, and if he wins, it's massive. So, against me, obviously, I'm coming off 2 losses, so he didn't really have nothing to win really. So, I don't blame him. He's chose a. I know, maybe obviously he got paid a lot more fighting Liam Smith probably. So,
Is the plan still to move up in weight? I mean, we think the losses have definitely been down to the fact you're having to, cut quite a lot of weight. You're going to be more comfortable upper division for sure, right? And so is that the plan now?
yeah, definitely. I've moved to 160 now, so
160,
just waiting for a date. I'm in the gym, taking over, sparring hard, so waiting for my opportunity. And then when it comes, I'll be hanging about for a long time.
Napa, my brother, what would you like to see from this man this year? What's a good 2025 for Troy Williamson?
To get him out before spring or in spring. I'm actually waiting on an email regarding the fight for him that he knows about already. We're supposed to get an answer today about opportunity in America, actually. So there's that. Tyler Denny as well. Ben and everyone at Boxer already knows that I'm all over them about that fight. So one of the 2 opportunities at the moment. Obviously, I spoke with Matchroom about the Aaron McKenna thing, but then, of course, why would you not take the Liam Smith fight on the Eubank Ben undercard?
On the undercard, yeah.
That was going to be on the Island show. Is it Paddy? What's his name? Crocker.
Yes, Crocker. Is it Donovan?
Yeah,
Is it Crocker?
yeah. It was going to be on that show, but obviously now McKenna's not on that show. So yeah, hopefully Tyler Denny or this opportunity in the USA.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Yeah, well, I'm in the gym ready, so as soon as that call comes, I'm ready.
Yeah, listen.
I've been pestering that every day, so he knows. I just want to fight.
Yeah, Troy. Listen, I think everyone, as fight fans, we want to see you move up. Because your fight style was suit a more high energy fight, if you like. I think that's fair to say. So I think upper weight, you're going to do some damage.
1,000,000%. My explosiveness is back. Like down at 154, my explosiveness wasn't there.
That's the word I'm looking for. Your explosiveness. Yeah, that's exactly the word I'm looking for, and I think it's going to make a big difference to you. Napa, can you see this brother turning over a new leaf? now, at the new weight, you think that's going to? Is that fair? Me saying that's been quite key to a few of his defeats recently.
Yeah, because I think even in the last fight with was it Ishmael Davis, he didn't make the weight and then had to be a certain weight on the second day. So all of that, takes away from what you can perform on fight night. And even then, it was still a close fight. So with a lot more energy and at the heavier weight at 160, we're going to see a much better version of Troy.
Troy, if you were to lose your next fight, and I'd put a big if on that.
I ain't losing no next fight. Like, that's not even in my mind. Like, it's not even in my mind. I know why I lost these fights, but obviously I don't regret nothing because I chose to fight. But the be all and end all is I lost my fights basically all down to just hanging about at the weight for too long. To be fair, so up at 160, there's no doubt in my mind that I will be losing anytime soon.
No, I love the mindset. You cut me off there because you knew what I was going to say. I love the mindset. You're not having none of that, mate. None of that talk around here on this Insta Live, and that's great to hear. So yeah, so the Tyler Denny fight, that would be a treat for the fans. That would be an absolute treat for the fans. Is that a fight that you're eyeing up next?
Yeah, if it happens, it happens. It's been put to Denny, I'm sure. Obviously, boxer want that fight, so it'll make a great fight. It'll get a lot of eyes watching, so can't see why that can't happen. If that doesn't happen, then look for another fight. I'm eager to fight anybody. I've shown that throughout my full career. Never back down on a challenge. I'm always in the gym, always fit, ready. So when the call comes, if I've got enough time, I'll be ready.
Who would you say the best fighter is that you've been in with? You've been in with like the likes of Josh Kelly and Ismail Davis, Ted Cheeseman. You've got a nice CV of some quality operators.
Probably Josh Kelly, the best fighter I've been in with. But even then, obviously, I went into that fight with carrying an injury where a week later I ended up getting surgery on my elbow. But if I was 100%, if there was nothing, if I wasn't carrying an injury, would I have won? Maybe not on the night. Obviously, the way he boxed superb. But I know for a fact that I would have given a lot better account of myself. It's just obviously I had one hand in that fight, but the better man won on the night, and like you said, there's no regrets. So I chose to go ahead with it.
Yeah. No, listen, you're an absolute warrior, and you always bring excitement. And one thing Napa said earlier was, promoters want exciting fighters, and you're not involved in dull fights and win, lose or draw. It's been brilliant to have you on. We're gonna get on Mario Silva now. But so thanks a lot for your time, Troy. I got to get a few fighters on and off. I see you in bed and ready to relax.
Going to bed now, switching off.
But yeah, thank you so much for your time and spend a little bit of time with us. It's always a pleasure, and I hope, fingers crossed, for my sake, that you're fighting over here so I can come to it.
Yeah, hopefully get a date shortly, mate, and stay tuned.
Bless up, big up yourself, and keep on mashing them up. I'm going to get Mario Silva on now. Let me see if I can add him in. Thanks a lot, Troy. I appreciate you, brother.
See you there. Good night.
Yeah, you're the man. You're the man. Let me just drop him out. There we go. Right, I'm going to just get Mr. Silva in. So he fought one of my guys. Let me see if I can add him in. He fought a guy I sponsor, actually. I'm just going to see if he's in here. I did see him earlier. There he is. Now this kid is exciting, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's exciting. You must be buzzing to have this guy in your stable.
Here he is.
What's going on? Yes.
Mr. Silva.
You okay? Yes,
how you doing?
Okay.
What are you saying?
How you doing, champ?
Good, man. Good.
Listen, it's a pleasure to have you on the live. Welcome to the Gunman Insta Live. We interview fighters of all levels on this Insta Live. I really appreciate your time. I was at your last fight against Emmanuel Zion, a guy I actually sponsor. And it was a hell of a fight. And it's really been doing the views. some of the clips as just quite savage boxing. I'd heard a lot about you in the build-up to that fight from my friends in Sheffield, and a lot of them had said that you're going to really go far. Can you just tell some of the fight fans what we can expect from you? I've seen you fight, but for those that haven't, how would you describe your fight style?
As you can see from my last fight, my fight style is entertaining. I bring the people what they want. I'm here for great fights. I'm not here to hide or duck or build my record up. You can clearly see I'm in with good fighters because Emmanuel Zion's not no pushover.
No.
And one thing I hate is a lot of people during the night were saying he's a tough fighter, tough fighter. Tough fighter makes it sound like he was a punching bag. That's not what Emmanuel Zion is. He's talented, very skillful, and we had a game of chess. And you can clearly see that my style is just all about thinking. It's all about being steps ahead of my opponent. So what fans can expect, I don't even like calling them fans, they're supporters, because without them, I couldn't be where I am. So with the supporters, what they can expect is entertaining fights all the time, lights out all the time.
Would you say size was a big difference in that fight, though? Like, Zion looked almost half your size at times.
Nah, don't play it out with the height, because your boy is naturally heavier, though. Your boy is a heavy boy. He walks around a lot heavier, and he's naturally a lot stronger than me, a lot bigger than me. He's got his man strength. I'm still a little boy out here, bro. Like, the fact that I'm standing and holding my ground and cracking on and keeping professionalism through a fight with such a young age, and I'm showing professionalism. It's one of them.
I've got to say,
I don't think size played any role. I think what played a role was my IQ and my jab. My jab was like, it was mandatory, like COVID jabs.
The thing with Emmanuel Zion, I think he needs to be down really as a welterweight. He's too heavy at that weight.
Emmanuel at a welterweight would upset a lot of fighters.
Yeah,
he'd be good at that weight.
Yeah, that's why I'd like to see him, if I'm honest. I feel that I felt personally, not just because I sponsor him, but I felt you were just too big for him. I felt you were too big for him. I felt you were stronger, and I don't think he's that suited to that weight. But I'm not taking anything away from you, because I must say that like quadruple left hook that you threw, and you'll remember it. It was like Roy Jones Jr. Like, that was lovely to see. Like, I love stuff like that. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, that's like serious skill to land 4 hooks on. Anyone who boxes will know, if you can land 4 hooks on someone without them hitting you back, that is serious speed and accuracy. And listen, I've started following you now and watching you closely, because I didn't know too much about you, but the fight fans, if anyone who's on this live and watches this back later, because we'll put this interview around the net later, follow this brother, because if you do, you'll be in for a real treat. He's a serious talent. Serious talent. Mario, we're just having some of the fans are saying that you talk really well. You come across, another guy in the chat saying you come across really well.
The supporters, you mean, not fans?
Yeah, the supporters in the chat saying that you come across well. One guy saying that you talk really well. Listen, you do talk well, and you fight even better. Are you going to be staying at that weight? Because you look big for the weight. Are you going to be staying at middleweight?
Yes. Until my body tells me that I can't, I'm going to stay at middleweight, yes. If I'm strong, I'm dominating, and I'm making weight easy, no problem.
Napa, how far can this brother go?
To the top. Very talented, skilled, good listener, entertaining in the ring. And he's like a sponge. That's what I like about Mario. He takes on information well and listens, and is a good student and extremely talented. And he's got a chin.
And I tell you, he's got a fan-friendly style as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Yes. Big
fan-friendly style.
Big time. He did the 6 rounds easy, so we can step him up for the next one, probably to an 8-rounder. And take our time, because we've got a star on our hands. No rush.
Yeah, and he's got time. That's one thing that he does have. He's got time. How was the whole experience fighting on a boxer show, Sky Sports? You know, your clips of your fight. fair play to both of you. It's done over 1 million views, like just on Insta alone. Like I'm seeing people sharing it. Like the exchanges were magnificent to watch for the purists. How much taken back have you been by boxing on the big stage, or is it just water for ducks?
Like I said, when I step in the ring or whenever I'm getting ready for a fight, it's like I'm back in school and I'm rehearsing for a drama show. Everyone wants to watch and see what I'm able to orchestrate. So I'm here to do it all. So when I don't feel no pressure, if anything, I gain confidence off of it, and I feel like, you know what? Okay, these people want a show. Let me show them who Will Smith is.
Listen, you're 7-0. Napa, who do you want to see him in with? Where do you want to see him in the next sort of 5 fights?
Move to 8 rounds and then make our way to 10 rounds. It's the star we've got on our hands. We take our time, no rush.
Strap season, baby. By the time he gets to 12 fights,
the local regional belts. Yeah, why not?
Because the thing you got to understand, Gunman, is I'm only 22, and the way I'm performing, the way I'm portraying myself, it's not something you rush. It's slow and steady. This boxing game is a marathon, it ain't no sprint, so we don't need to rush anything. And you've seen fighters in the past that have rushed and fell short because every dog has their day.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fall short. I'm trying to make sure that I take every opportunity with the most preparation, the most confidence, the most reassurance, that my whole team know that I can do the job. So there's no rush at all. There's no rush at all. I've got another 15 years in this sport, so you can see my name all over the sport. I'm going to be the name of the sport. When you think about boxing, you're going to think about Mario.
Yeah, you're already making splash waves into the game, my friend. Napa, you must be buzzing working with this kid. He's got his head on his shoulders, good team around him. Even the fight fans are saying he speaks well, he talks well, he comes across great, he looks good, he fights good. Is there anything this brother can't do? You must be loving it, having such a gem on the books.
They're really excited for the journey we've got ahead with Mario. He, as I said, he's gone to the top. As long as he stays exactly how he is now.
Always. And one thing I have to say before anything is I've got to give a big thank you to Napa, because the day that he signed me, my whole life changed around, and it was a big eye-opener for me, and it gave me even more belief that what I thought I can do is not fought now, because I can see it in front of me. And it was Napa that gave me the opportunity, and Napa that opened the door for me to be able to showcase how good I am. So thank you to Napa so much. I appreciate you.
Big up, my bro.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I've just got in now.
Bulletproof.
Bulletproof. It's sideways. I'm gonna have to go sideways.
Hey, bro, what's happening? What's happening to What's happening to Chris Billam, bro?
Yo, finna smash that fool, bro.
He's upside down. But I thought I'll add him in, and we'll have the 4 of us on, because I want to get us all on. Yes, Mr. Glanton.
What's up? What's the word?
Yeah, listen, welcome to the Gunman Insta Live. This is a platform that I've set up to interview fighters of all levels. We've had the likes of Bernard Hopkins, Dimitri Bivol, Roy Jones Jr. on here, right down to kids having their first ever skill bout. Like, all levels come on here and we just chat boxing. Now, Mr. Napa, we are talking about Chris Eubank Jr. fight, but we are also just talking about his stable of absolute serial killers. And we'd love to talk about your upcoming fight that is coming up with Chris Billam Smith. Now, listen, you've been brushing brothers off like a bit of fluff on your blazer. You've been brushing people off. Literally 17 KOs, I think it is, in 20 fights. You know what I mean? You're knocking everyone down. Is there a secret to your power? Are you just born with it? Or is it technique and you've had to learn it?
I mean, it's obviously both, right? Power ain't just born with it. When you're born with something and you add that technique onto it and you get the proper training, people they seem to get up out of here. So
yeah. Do you rate Chris Billam Smith? Do you rate that brother?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, he's solid. He's a consummate blue collar professional athlete. Other than him, you know what I mean? Other than him looking like the English John Cena, I ain't really got. You know what I mean? I don't really have any. If I, you know what I mean? If I was just watching him fight, I don't really have anything bad to say about him. He all wrong for me, but I mean, he come in shape. He come ready. I think he a little bit feather fisted, but he's a consummate professional, man. He's durable. I don't really have a bad thing to say about him if I was just watching him, but I'm gonna brutalize that boy. It ain't really a whole lot to talk about, but he gonna get hurt that night. So,
Brandon, do you think you're catching him at the right time? Maybe now he should be sponsored by Fairy Liquid because he's washed up. He's been in some absolute wars with Ramirez, Riakporhe, Okolie, Isaac Chamberlain, to name a few. He's been in some wars. Is he past his sell-by date and now he's running into a truck?
I think he's right there at it. Just being honest, it couldn't be. It's a better. I don't care if he was fresh. It wouldn't matter because it's the way he fights. You know what I mean? Like my coach says, it's the decisions between the bells. But I think his expiration date is reaching his limit. I tell you that that guy been in a lot of wars, man. His body just been through a lot.
But Goodman, I don't agree with you on that though. About Chris Billam been in wars. He's been in tough fights, yes. But if you've seen the likes of Brandon, he ain't seen war until he gets in the ring with Brandon. He ain't seen wars.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, we're different type of fighters. When you step in the ring, have you seen Bulletproof fights? Because you must have not seen his fights. If you're saying that, is he ready? Because now he's going to war.
No, I talked about this with Napa before. I'm one of these. Chris Billam Smith always keeps proving me wrong. Like I genuinely thought Chamberlain was going to beat him. I did. I actually thought at the time. Only the fact it was in Bournemouth in his hometown. I thought Chamberlain might beat him. I thought Okolie might beat him, and he proved me wrong. I thought Riakporhe was going to beat him. I was at that fight at Selhurst Park. I thought, and Napa, you agree with this. You thought these guys would beat him, and he's actually won those fights.
So,
do you know what I mean?
I ain't taking nothing from Chris, obviously, because if I take something from him, I'm taking something from myself, right? But with Chamberlain, he don't want no smoke anyway, right? I think he's from Brixton. I guess because he feel like he's from Brixton, he got it. He don't really want to sit in there and fight. He has to sit in there and fight. That's not his fight. He never beats to Chris Billam. I think he beat him to a pulp. Just the way the styles line up with Riakporhe can punch. He can't fight. What's the other name you mentioned? Not Okolie.
Okolie was just holding too much in that fight.
No, Okolie. Well, on to Okolie, he I know personally what happened in camp, and he went through a lot. If he had some troubles with weight, he don't run it back. Chris Billam don't beat him. And what was the other name you mentioned?
Ramirez. Ramirez beat him pretty handily. That was
exactly. A guy who was willing. For one, Billam offers no adjustments. His feet are stuck in concrete. You know what I mean? This guy, he just kept moving around.
Don't give too much away now.
Hey, Chris Billam can see my whole game. I'm gonna beat your ass, boy. I mean, it's just that wasn't even a cruiserweight. He was in there with a fat 68 pounder. So when you say his face went through a lot by himself, you know what I mean? He just got touched a lot. So he got some shit on his hands. Like I said in the interview, I almost feel bad for him. Almost.
Mario, you've mentioned to me that maybe I'm building up Billam Smith. Putting Billam Smith down by saying he's washed up and he's been in hard fights. But what I meant was really he's been in fights. I thought he was going to. I didn't think he was going to win some of those fights.
No, I'm not saying you're bringing him down. I'm saying he ain't seen a real war yet. Not until he's been in there with Bulletproof. He ain't seen no war.
He
Listen, I remember the
ain't
first
been
time
there
I
with
met
somebody who want to
Bulletproof.
hurt him. That's for
I
sure.
remember the first time I met Bulletproof, and he did pads with my father, Paulina da Silva, and he threw one body shot in the pad, and my father's feet went off the ground, bro. Like, Chris Billam ain't ready for this.
Yeah.
Like, if he tries to get close and hug, it's wraps. Because if you get an arm's distance of Bulletproof, that's it. All he needs is that one shot, and he'll find that one shot, no problem.
You got to say the Ramirez fight was grueling, though.
Of
You've
course,
got to say that was a war for him.
he stepped up to a level where it's real now. Because there's a lot of fighters that, yes, at UK level, they're hot. The prospects there, they're people that you can look and go, yeah, they're going to be great. But the moment they step up to American level and find out where the real boxing came from and the real talent is, they get found out. And I don't think Chris is ready for this.
Yeah,
when Brandon gets this win, I want him to get his flowers. I don't want them to say, "Oh, he beat a washed-up version of Chris Billam Smith."
Because he's on a roll right now.
Smith.
He's been doing well, and then even the way he held himself with Ramirez, even though it was a tough fight, he still held himself well. So not taking anything away from him, because everything he's achieved, he's earned. So we have to give him his props. But I just don't think he's at the caliber level to beat Bulletproof.
Cause he looked like Dumb and Dumber. Like he just don't look. He don't even look the part. It's like, bro, if you really look at this guy, really just take a look at him. He ain't like that. Like I said, he works extremely hard. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He's got some really good things about him. It's gonna be my pleasure to damage him. So
yeah. Well, let me get Conor Coyle on. Mario, I'll jump you off, but thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate you. I'm going to be following you intensely.
Hey,
this
good to
guy's
see
a
you,
really
brother.
exciting brother. Really exciting brother.
Thanks,
Can't wait to see you fight again. I'll jump you off. I'm going to try and bring on Conor Coyle, if I can. Thanks a lot, Mario. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
You're the top.
Peace,
You're top
bro.
man. Great fighter and a great.
See you in a bit, Napa. See you in a
Peace,
bit, Brandon.
bro.
See you, man.
Right. I'm going to just try and jump on. Yeah. So, Brandon, like, you must be buzzing to get that opportunity. Napa, how happy are you to get your man that opportunity against CBS?
Listen, we fought hard about who should get a slot in this card, and Brandon deserves it. We went to Russia, he got the knockout. We went to France, he got the knockout. Within 3 fights, he's got himself into every single organization, top 15 world ranking. Here he is.
Yeah.
What's happening, guys?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
What's going on?
That's it. Just move the camera up. We can't see your head. There it is. Hey, welcome to the Gunman Insta Live, Conor Coyle. This is Conor Coyle, people. Welcome on. This is the Gunman Insta Live, where we interview fighters of all levels. Today, we're just getting a few fighters from Napa's stable of serial killers onto the live, just to introduce them, to have a chat. Welcome on. Thank you so much for your time. We're just talking about CBS's fight against Glanton. How do you see that going, Conor Coyle?
I only see it going one way.
Be nice.
I've seen Brandon in the gym.
Nice.
I've watched what he does. I've seen him sparring some hard guys, and I only see it going one way.
Yeah.
There's blood splattered all over the walls in our gym.
Another knockout?
Huh?
Another knockout?
It's going to be a good fight, but I know he has the power and the ferocity to do it.
Yeah. Glandon, I actually think I always say this about Billam Smith, so I don't want to jinx you, but I always think he's going to get unstuck, and he always finds a way. So I have to give him props. But I just think you're going to have the power in this fight. I'm being honest. But like I said, I've called it wrong with him many a time, and he's a dangerous operator, and it's going to be a really exciting fight. Do you see it the same way, that you just think you're going to have too much power for him?
You know what? I mean, I gotta say yeah, because I'm a bigger puncher than him. But that's not even the magic behind it. You know what I mean? What I do is more than just brutalizing, come forward fighting. You know what I mean? It's boxing at a short range. I mean, I don't get hit a lot. I I don't take a lot of damage. I got a great jab. This guy, I'm gonna be right in front of him. He's not gonna be able to find me. You know what I mean? It's little subtle things that the average guy can't see, but the boxing student can see. So it's just too much on every level. Everybody talks about this guy's conditioning. Like, I don't think he's gonna have any answers for them to do. I'm gonna beat the shit out of Chris Billam. He gonna be in a fight. That's it. I don't really know how else to put it. I'm not even being cocky. I'm not even being trying to be nasty or disrespectful to him. That boy's health is in danger. Like it's just different. So, but again, this is a show me sport. You got to show everybody every time. So I'm gonna brutalize that boy, and then you'll say it about the next one. But it's Billam hasn't been in. I say Billam hasn't been in there with a guy who really, really wants to hurt him. I'm not trying to win rounds, right? It's not about rounds. It's about doing damage. Winning is a byproduct of hurting that man. So if I hurt him, when I hurt him, and he can't continue, I win. You understand?
Yeah,
we're playing. I'm not trying to win a boxing match. I don't want to fuck him up, and that's it. I don't like him. I don't like that man. He's not a gentleman. Ain't none of that. He's a solid fighter, great conditioning, blue collar, hard working guy. This is too much for him. Period.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. Just on to Conor Coyle, because I'm conscious we've only got 5 minutes. We only get an hour on these lives, and we've got 5 minutes left, and then it cuts out. So just conscious of everyone's time, and I want to quickly get onto Conor. Conor, for those that do not know, this man is from Derry, Northern Ireland, 21 wins and 9 KOs, unbeaten, and really making a storm in the professional ranks. But most of all, you've been on the road, fighting in the States, fighting in Mexico, you know what I mean, Madison Square Garden, you know what I mean, you're really moving through the paces. Napa, quickly just tell us a little bit about your man.
We actually was looking at Conor Coyle to fight Eubank. That's when he first came to my attention. And then after reaching out to him and having a few conversations, me and my business partners were like, we like this guy. We want to work with him. We don't want to fight him. We like this guy.
Yeah.
And we want to use our connections to get him the opportunities that his skill set and his ranking deserves. And that's what we've done. We've got him one fight on Boxer. And now the next fight will be next week on Top Rank in Madison Square Garden.
So your next fight is at Madison Square. You haven't fought there before. Your next fight is at Madison Square Gardens. I stand corrected. Sorry. And that's against Vito Mielnicki Jr. Is that? I can't even pronounce it. Yeah. I'll leave it to you. But anyway, look, he's a dangerous brother. 20 wins, 1 loss. What can we expect from you in a couple of weeks' time?
I mean, we got the call about 10 weeks ago, and I made the decision to come here immediately because I had some weight to take off me because of the wedding and the honeymoon and the stag do, the bachelor party. So I had to get right to work almost immediately. So we came here and I watched all of his fights, and we just put a game plan together right away, and we just started to get to work on, we've picked up on his flaws, and we've worked on my weaknesses from my previous fight. And I'm just looking forward to putting it all together now on February 14th.
Yeah, brilliant. It's Valentine's Day on that day, but there's going to be no love lost in that ring. You're going to be going absolute hammers and tongue at each other. I don't think anyone's going to be sending anyone any cards on that night. Do you rate that brother that you're going to be fighting?
I mean, he's a young kid, yeah. He's a prospect for sure. I mean, he doesn't have 21s for nothing,
No.
But I just feel I'm the more superior boxer, and I feel like I have everything top notch above him. So I'm just happy to put it together on the night, and everything has to come together at the right time as well. I've put the work on here. I've actually been sparring with Brandon's sparring partner Hot Rod, who just fought Morel as well, and Matteo Tappi. So I have severe, intense sparring rounds under my belt. I have like 95 rounds with those guys.
Wow.
This training camp, yeah. So I'm for the size of those guys and the hard they hit, it's going to be a much easier night on fight night when I'm fueled up and I'm walking in around 174 pounds.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. Dangerous assignment, isn't it, Napa? For your man, you've got him in a bit of a dangerous assignment, would you say?
Well, Vito's actually coming up from like middleweight, so this is Vito's first fight at middleweight. So
but
Conor's a bit.
20 wins, he knows how to win. He's not a guy that, that's a punch bag. He knows how to win. It's still going to be dangerous.
Yeah, he's world ranked. He's world ranked. He's ranked in the WBO and WBA. He's a good fighter. It's going to be a good test, but I'm very, very confident we're going to get the W on the night. I think just the Conor's amateur pedigree, his skill set, it will get him over the line.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, listen, guys, we've run out of time. It's been an absolute pleasure having you all on. Unfortunately, the live's only go an hour and then it just cuts out. And we've only got probably a minute or so left. And I've been trying to get through as many fighters as I can. But I wish you all the best of luck. Napa, thank you so much for inviting all your fighters on.
Oh, good, man.
Or some of your fighters on. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I wish you guys the absolute best of luck in your upcoming fights. Brandon, your fight is exceptional fight against Billam Smith. It's going to draw a lot of attention as well. So we won't ignore that. And best of luck, Conor, as well, with your fight as well. Hopefully you can stay unbeaten and, do the business. Napa, you are the man. I hope to see you at the show soon. Peace out,
man, for sure.
All right,
Peace.
Thanks, guys.